The obsession your person is feeling is not normal, and even they recognize that it goes far beyond anything they have ever experienced before. You carry a very rare, almost unexplainable energy, one that lingers, one that leaves a permanent mark on anyone who truly encounters it. Being connected to you awakens something deep within them, something both beautiful and terrifying. Because of this, your person feels an overwhelming urge to protect you, even now, even after everything that has happened. That instinct comes from knowing how precious you are and how easily your light could have been safeguarded if they had acted differently. Instead, what they did to you weighs heavily on their conscience. They see their past actions clearly now, without excuses, and they recognize them as shameless and disgusting. There is no justification left in their mind, only regret. They replay moments over and over, wishing they could go back, wishing they had a time machine to rewrite every wrong decision, every careless word, every moment where they chose fear over love and ego over vulnerability. Your person deeply regrets the way they lived this love. Rather than embracing it fully, they allowed fear to control them, fear of being seen, fear of losing control, fear of surrendering their pride. Their ego became a shield, but it also became a weapon that wounded you. Now that shield has shattered, leaving them exposed to the full weight of their actions. The pain they carry is relentless. It follows them into quiet moments, into sleepless nights, into memories they cannot escape. They feel like they failed you in ways that cannot be undone, as if every opportunity to protect, choose, and stand up for you slipped through their fingers. That realization is crushing. The absence of your voice, the fact that you are not reaching out, has forced them to confront the reality of what they cost you. Your silence speaks louder than any confrontation ever could, and through it, they finally understand the depth of the pain they caused. They see now how much you suffered because of them, how many times you cried alone, in private, carrying the weight of heartbreak without allowing the world to see. They know you didn't make a spectacle of your pain, you endured it quietly, with dignity. That knowledge breaks them. Every tear you shed in silence echoes in their mind, a reminder of how deeply they hurt someone who only wanted love, honesty, and safety. Yet they also recognize that all of that pain, all of that struggle, has shaped you into someone emotionally and mentally strong. You survived what they put you through, and in doing so, you transformed. That strength commands both their admiration and their shame. They know you did not deserve to grow strong through suffering, especially suffering caused by someone who claimed to care about you. Your person is overwhelmed by remorse. This is not surface-level guilt or fleeting regret, it is deep, consuming, and sincere. They feel it in their chest, in their thoughts, in every quiet moment when there is nothing left to distract them. They are haunted by the awareness that they may have lost you forever, not because love was absent, but because they failed to honor it when it mattered most. The idea that it may be too late terrifies them. That fear fuels their urgency to apologize, to take accountability, to finally speak from a place of honesty rather than defense. They no longer want to hide behind pride or excuses. They want to acknowledge every mistake, every wound, every moment they should have chosen you and didn't. At this point, they can no longer hold back what they feel. The weight of unspoken truths has become unbearable. They long for open and honest communication with you, not to manipulate, not to justify themselves, but to tell you the truth they should have told you long ago. They want you to know that they see you now, that they understand the impact of their actions, and that they are deeply sorry for the pain they caused. Whether or not forgiveness is possible, whether or not reconciliation could ever exist, they still feel compelled to speak. Because loving you changed them, losing you humbled them, and hurting you is something they will carry with them as a lesson they learned too late. You are the most important person in my life, and the physical distance between us has become far more troublesome than I ever imagined it would be. I used to think that distance was only a matter of space, something measurable and manageable, but now I understand that it is also emotional, psychological, and deeply personal. No matter where I go or what I try to focus on, I find myself thinking of you. Your presence follows me everywhere, quietly and persistently, woven into my thoughts, my routines, and even my silences. Every reminder of you makes my heart ache with a longing to be close to you again, to feel your presence not just in memory but in reality. You came into my life at a time when I didn't fully understand myself or how to face the challenges that surrounded me. You showed me, patiently and gently, how to deal with my problems instead of running away from them. Through your words, your actions, and your unwavering belief in me, I learned how to face life without fear. You made me realize that strength doesn't always mean standing alone, sometimes it means allowing someone to stand beside you. I often find myself reminiscing about the good times we shared together, the laughter, the quiet moments, the conversations that stretched late into the night. Those memories are etched deeply into my heart, and I replay them often, especially when the loneliness feels heavier than usual. There are moments when emotions overwhelm me so completely that tears of passion flow from my eyes without warning. It happens when I think about you day and night, when the weight of missing you becomes too much to carry silently. I catch myself talking to your pictures, sharing my thoughts, my worries, and my hopes, and in those moments it feels incredibly real, as though you can hear me and respond. It's comforting and painful at the same time, because it reminds me of how deeply connected I am to you, even across the distance that separates us. Before you, I always thought love was something filled with sorrow, longing, and quiet suffering. I believed it was more lament than joy. But something about you changed that belief entirely. You awakened a part of me that wanted to love fully, openly, and without reservation. You made love feel warm instead of heavy, hopeful instead of painful. With your love and support, I began to change in ways I never thought possible. I transformed from a cold, guarded person into someone more understanding, patient, and kind. When you entered my life, I finally understood the true meaning of love, not just as a feeling, but as a commitment, a choice, and a shared journey. Life, I have learned, is full of tests. It constantly challenges our inner strength and pushes us to confront our fears and insecurities. More importantly, it tests our dedication and the depth of our love for each other. Being apart from you has been one of the hardest tests I've faced, but it has also made one thing clear: the longer I am away from you, the greater my yearning to be with you becomes. Distance has not weakened my feelings, instead, it has intensified them, sharpening my awareness of how much you truly mean to me. There are times when I ask myself what I would do without you, and the thought alone feels unbearable. You have become such an essential part of my life, my growth, and my sense of purpose. I know I have made mistakes, and I am truly sorry for ignoring your text. That moment does not reflect my feelings for you or the value I place on our connection. I promise you that nothing will go wrong this time. I am learning, growing, and choosing to do better, not just for you, but for us. I want to honor my feelings for you instead of suppressing them or letting fear guide my actions. Loving you has taught me courage, honesty, and vulnerability, and I no longer want to hide from those emotions. I want to stand by what I feel and express it clearly, because you deserve that sincerity. I love you so much, more deeply than words can fully capture, and every day apart only confirms how true and enduring that love is. Your partner never truly understood how deeply you invested yourself in the relationship. They had no real awareness of the amount of time, emotional energy, care, and importance you poured into building and sustaining the connection. To you, they were not just someone you loved, they were your first priority. You showed up consistently, made sacrifices, and chose them even when it required you to put parts of yourself aside. Unfortunately, they took that devotion for granted. It wasn't until the relationship was stripped away, until your presence was no longer available to them, that the weight of what they lost finally became clear. Only in your absence did they begin to recognize the depth of your love and the stability you once brought into their life. Now, they are facing the natural consequences of their betrayal. What once felt secure to them is gone, and the emotional void you left behind weighs heavily on their heart. They are experiencing a deep ache, a sense of longing that doesn't fade easily. Even though they try to appear unaffected, inside they are struggling. There is an intense obsession growing within them, an attachment they never acknowledged when you were fully present. They think about you constantly, replaying memories, moments, and conversations, wishing they could return to a time when they still had access to your energy and love. Yet they hide these feelings, masking their vulnerability and pretending they are in control, even as they are emotionally unraveling. Your energy has become something they crave. Without admitting it out loud, they are addicted to the way you made them feel, safe, valued, understood, and alive. From a distance, they watch you closely. They stalk your presence, whether through social media, shared spaces, or quiet inquiries, constantly trying to stay connected to your life without directly approaching you. They lurk in silence, observing your growth and your transformation, while wrestling with regret. This quiet watching stems from both desire and fear, the desire to have you back and the fear of facing the consequences of what they did to lose you. At some point, your partner decides they want you back at any cost. The realization that they may have permanently lost you becomes unbearable. However, they are not prepared for the version of you that now exists. This new you is stronger, more self-aware, and far more grounded. You are no longer operating from a place of emotional dependence or self-doubt. Instead, you are rooted in your purpose and focused on your goals. You have learned the importance of protecting your peace and honoring your worth. You are not chasing after someone who failed to choose you when it mattered most. Rather than proving yourself or seeking validation, you allow your silence, growth, and self-respect to speak for you. By choosing not to chase them, you are giving them the space to fully understand what kind of love they once had and chose to betray. You are no longer trying to convince them of your value or remind them of your loyalty. The absence of your effort becomes the lesson. They are left to sit with the realization that your love was rare, unconditional, and deeply genuine. This understanding doesn't come easily, it arrives through loneliness, regret, and comparison. Every moment without you reinforces what they lost. Alongside regret, insecurity begins to surface within them. They see you doing better, emotionally, mentally, and possibly even materially, and it unsettles them. They once believed that you needed them, that you wouldn't be able to stand strong without their presence or approval. That belief gave them a sense of control and importance. But now, you have shattered that illusion. You have shown them, and the world, that you are more than capable of standing on your own. You are facing life's battles with resilience and courage, winning them through self-trust and inner strength rather than relying on external support or validation. Your independence forces them to confront their own shortcomings. While you continue to grow and evolve, they are stuck reflecting on missed chances and poor choices. The power dynamic has shifted. You are no longer waiting, hoping, or settling, you are moving forward. This contrast amplifies their insecurity and regret, as they realize that losing you wasn't just the end of a relationship, but the loss of someone who genuinely loved them and believed in them. Ultimately, your journey becomes a testament to self-worth and personal transformation. You didn't allow betrayal to break you, instead, you allowed it to refine you. While your partner wrestles with karma, longing, and obsession, you remain aligned with your purpose, focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Their realization may come too late, but your growth ensures that whatever happens next is rooted in strength, clarity, and self-respect.